you know you want to start a business. What you may not know is how to make it a reality. GoDaddy's Arrow's got you. It uses AI to help you find the domain name that's right for you. Next, answer a few prompts, and with a couple clicks, Arrow will design a professional-looking website or storefront in minutes. Arrow can even help you stay engaged with your customers. Just attach a professional email that matches your domain. With GoDaddy Arrow, you can build a business without having to know a thing about this stuff. Just visit GoDaddy.com to get started. That's GoDaddy.com. Premium features require paid subscription. See terms on site. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Scroll, where instead of scrolling for updates, I scroll for you. Every week, I handpick the most important updates in social media, break them down into plain language, and tell you exactly what it means for your growth. No jargon, no endless feeds to dig through, no guessing, just clear direction, smart strategies, and the edge most creators don't have until it's too late. If you want to understand the changes happening in social right now, then all you have to do is listen to this episode. Now, we all know this episode of the Weekly Scroll is brought to you by Club Enfluence. This is our all-in-one creator membership where we send you weekly Reels trends, prompts, trendy Canva templates, and we do a content drop every single month. So your invitation to the club is waiting inside the show notes. What's really exciting today, though, is that I brought a special guest on to talk about this week's Weekly Scroll. Now, this is Darby. Well, I'll let her talk. Well, go ahead and say hi, Darby.
Hi, friends.
Darby is actually the brains behind what goes on in Club Enfluence. So yes, I oversee everything, but she is in the weeds every week scrolling for us and finding these amazing trends for us to use. So I thought it'd be helpful to bring her on and kind of talk to her about the updates that are happening in social. So fun fact, Darby was my first ever employee. She worked with me in my back bedroom at my house. And here we are, almost 5 years later, we got a team of 4, and she is the she's director of operations at Enfluence Marketing Studio, but she literally does everything for me. So welcome, Darb. How are you?
Hi, Kate. I'm so happy to be here because typically I'm listening to her podcast through the wall. So yeah. I'm finally on it.
I'm on the other side. So her desk is on the other side of the wall of my office. And yeah, she hears me all the time.
So I made it officially.
She did. This is her first debut. Also, guys, Darby, tell them how far along you are pregnancy.
I'm due next week. So.
Due next week, guys. And I can't wait to show a little. Do we want to say her name?
Yeah, Tommy Rowe.
Okay, I didn't know if it was. I can't wait to show Tommy Rowe her mom's debut on the Weekly Scroll. And I know. Then bring her in with Kennedy, and they're just gonna rock social.
Yeah, they'll definitely be in Reels. Well, they're the stars of the show. So
just 2 moms over here working in social, just like you. I know there's other moms on the other side of this radio or whatever it is you're listening to, your phone, maybe on your money walk. So we see you, we feel for you, and we're here in the trenches with you. So let's just get started in this week's updates. So how we're going to do this is I'm basically going to bring up the update, kind of give away some takeaways, and then we're going to get Darby's 2 cents on it. She's really good too at this because she's in the trenches as well with our client work. So I feel like me talking about some of these updates, you might be like,
yeah,
oh, I could see how this industry could be using this or this client. So it's going to be really cool to bounce these ideas off of you.
For sure.
All right. So first one is, I actually talked about this week earlier on my Instagram because I got an email from Metrical, and it says that Instagram has changed how it counts views. So first off, has anybody complained about their views dropping at all this month?
Yeah. In the club, we actually had someone comment yesterday about follower and viewer growth, being down this month. And I was like, that's actually really typical. We see in December, but now more so with this update, yeah, it's a big change. So I've already seen it on a few people complain about it.
And she's right too. December-ish is when all the bigger brands are pushing the rest of their budgets for advertising and marketing. So, the little guys who are just doing organic social media, it can kind of be down for you because you're not paying to play. But on top of that, we now have this update. So what's going on here is it's not like they're taking views away from you, but they're kind of just tweaking how views are counted. So previously, if someone just saw your post on the explore page, or they went to your page and just were scrolling on your page and saw your post, that was counted as a view, which I don't think that's accurate anyways, because anyone can see that stuff.
Right.
So now they're going to count it only if someone actively taps on that post.
Yes, which I think adds more value. Like now it's not such a vanity metric. Like now it's like, okay, like I earned these views. Because I do feel like just as follower count, like people get so hooked up on it. Like with view count, now that you can go on a profile and you can see how many views your carousel gets. I even get caught up like 2,000 views, that's nothing. And it's like, no, but if 2,000 people click on your post, that's huge. So it's just adding more value to it. So I personally like this update.
I like it too. And I feel like it helps us as well. So what we do at the agency is every month we kind of go back and like, okay, here's what worked, here's what didn't. And so we've got these inflated numbers on content that actually didn't really do well.
Right.
But, I think it's going to help. So like, views are now a stronger engagement signal that's not just visibility. And if your numbers did drop, it probably would have happened like within this past week or this past month. It doesn't mean that maybe your content sucks now. It could just mean that Instagram is being more intentional with its interaction versus just like casually scrolling.
For sure. And I think it'll be good for like hooks and stuff too. Being on the explore page is still the goal. Like you still want to be there, but you now want to not just land on it, but actually get clicks on it. So your hooks and stuff will really come into play for that, which is great from a strategist standpoint.
I was going to say, yeah, amen for strategy and engagement, because that's what we always are. We're always pointing towards like engagement. Okay, is anybody going to like, share, or comment on this? If not, then we'll like, we also spend way too much time on hooks. And also like one or the other of us will write a hook and be like, this is such a good hook. And then the other one of us will be like, you could tweak that hook. You obsess over hooks. So why this matters for everybody, just a little breakdown. View counts may look lower across accounts. Even if your reach is stable, don't fret. Content that earned your taps, your pauses, that is curiosity. That's what's going to stand out and be more clear to you. And then like Darby said, vanity metrics are getting stripped back in favor of real interest. So do we like this update? Yay, nay?
I do.
I say yay.
I'm all for it.
Ooh, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I just got some fireworks. All right. Before I lean to the next update, I did write a few tips with this, which we kind of already talked about them, but I just want to list them out real quick. One, make sure your hooks really hit hard in the first 1 to 2 seconds. You'll see research says 3 seconds. At the agency, we're like, nope, 1.5 seconds is all you have. Covers for reels, optimize those, because now if people are landing on your page, they have to actually click on that post. You need to make sure if it's not a reel cover, and I'm not talking to like Canva reel cover, but just like if it's a reel, you can manipulate what part of that reel shows up as your saved cover. So just make sure it's like the juiciest part. And then lastly, use this as a filter. Lower views now often mean the content didn't earn attention, which is useful data, just not bad news. It's just data. That's what we want. Okay, next update, which I think is super silly and dumb, but I've got some research behind why they're doing it. IGTV is back.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Did you ever even do that?
No, I never got into it.
No, like I remember my lives at the very beginning and I'd save those to IGTV, but I don't think anyone went to my profile and said, let me go watch Caitlin's past lives. Like,
right. I don't feel like, and I feel like a lot of creators had the same thing. Like, I don't feel like it had great traction, but now I'm excited to hear why
did not. There is no data out there saying that it did have great traction, but what they're doing is YouTube is having great traction with it. So
that makes sense.
What they're saying is Instagram's new TV app is similar to the format that YouTube uses, where you can watch like shorts. I've seen my son in the room watching YouTube shorts, and I'm like, that is such a brain rot. Stop watching that. Shout out to any moms that know what a brain rot is. But here's what Instagram says. They said, we've heard from our community that watching reels together is more fun. Is it though? Like, yes, I know we can send it. I like receiving a reel from you, Darby. If you send me something in the DMs, that makes me laugh.
Right.
Cool. But I don't want to sit with you and watch reels.
No, because interest levels are so vastly different. Like, even though we're very similar people and personalities, our interest on reels are probably like polar opposite, because it's so niche.
Yes, exactly. They say what he's saying. I don't know if Adam said this or just someone from Instagram. I got this from social media today, but they said people are having fun watching together. This is a test designed to learn which features make that experience work best on TV. Reels are grouped into channels that match your interest, including new music, sports highlights, hidden travel gems, trending moments, and more. I'm not really a fan of this. Now, the research that I said that I had found, YouTube has said that its users now watch more than 1 billion hours of YouTube content on their home TV sets.
Yeah.
But with that, yeah, of course, because there's YouTube TV and you're watching long form video. But like,
I just use YouTube TV as like my actual, like, I guess what satellite would have been back. Like, I just don't do satellite anymore, and it's just my TV. So I wonder if that's grouped in their analytics.
Right. That's where I feel like the info here could be skewed because according to Nielsen, which is a TV, I learned about Nielsen in college, which is so funny to see it now. But Nielsen does collect data for TV and what people watch. And they're saying YouTube is now the top streaming platform by watch time. But again, that's you. That's someone like you, Darby, who that's your streaming service is YouTube TV.
Right.
So with that, Instagram also sees opportunity, and this new TV app will ideally see the platform parlay the popularity of Reels into new viewing format in order to grab attention. I'm going to say nay on this update.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it sticks around for like till March and then they're like, fine.
IGTV is gone. You know you want to start a business. What you may not know is how to make it a reality. GoDaddy's Arrow's got you. It uses AI to help you find the domain name that's right for you. Next, answer a few prompts, and with a couple clicks, Arrow will design a professional-looking website or storefront in minutes. Arrow can even help you stay engaged with your customers. Just attach a professional email that matches your domain. With GoDaddy Arrow, you can build a business without having to know a thing about this stuff. Just visit GoDaddy.com to get started. That's GoDaddy.com. Premium features require paid subscription. See terms on site. All right, next one, Threads. What's your thoughts on Threads? Do you use it? Do you like it?
Well, I personally don't use it myself, but I use it for you, for your Threads. And I like it more than I used to. And I'll say why is because it's getting to where, so like Dancing with the Stars, I was super into that. And so even though I don't post on Threads, I would go on there as I was watching Dancing with the Stars to be like, ooh, did they like Robert's dance this week? Like what they think about Alex Earl. So I never got into Twitter, but I feel like it is kind of turning more into Twitter and like that aspect.
That's 1000% because so back when I used to really be obsessed with The Bachelorette, I would watch Bachelorette and then Twitter. And like, I knew if I tweeted really good stuff, it'd get retweeted too. It tons of full. So, okay. So you're using it personally for that.
Yeah. It's getting it, but like a year ago when it first started, it wasn't really like that. I feel like it was kind of just like random thoughts people would post, which is fun. And I still think there is a lot of that on there, but I do think it's getting more like of a news channel, like Twitter, where you can get it as like a news resource. Obviously I use it for like reality TV stuff. So not like real news, but
you seeing, I don't actually use Threads either. Darby, Threads for me, guys. I will do like one random post a week and it like gets me like 5 likes, and then Darby will thread for me and it gets like 10,000 views. What was I gonna so with Twitter they had like trending topics. Is that going on right now too with Threads?
Yeah, like highly trending. So like Love Island was another one that was like I could not scroll anywhere without seeing like Love Island. If I go to my search bar, it's like the trending topics of whatever TV show. Now that could just be in my interest, but a lot of political stuff is on there too. Like whatever's trending in the news is typically now like a trending topic when you first pop up on Threads.
So this is a side note too, as a social media strategist. If you are someone that can't find content ideas, hop on Threads and see what's trending.
Yeah. Especially for the timely things that are now like, you know, actually popping off. Like you want to get into like, what did this person say? Like Alex Earl, what is she saying about the latest skincare product? As a med spa person, you want to be talking about that, whatever like she's using, and you can go on Threads now and probably find that as a trending topic. So that's fun.
And that kind of leans into what their update is, which is Threads is expanding its topic-based communities. So the update says Threads is expanding topic-based communities to encourage deeper, more niche-specific conversations on the platform. Communities have grown from about 100 to 200 plus interest-based groups, making it easier for users to find people who care about the same topic. So that's what in the very beginning, they did not have that, and it was kind of all over the place. So now they're getting a little more specific. They're also testing community champion badges to highlight influential voices inside each community. So this could be if a client got in there and was always, reading up on what med spa updates there are going on and talking about it, they could get highlighted for their thoughts. There's also community flair, which lets users label what they're specifically interested in within a topic. Don't really know what that means, but it says the bigger goal is to boost engagement, spark real-time conversations, and build like a Reddit style conversation. Yeah. I'm a huge Reddit fan.
You are.
Yeah. Last night, woke up. Did you get my Slack message at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, I did.
I also sent Eric an email at 3 a.m. going over a summary of what happened at my doctor's appointment yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Is he like laying next to you in bed?
Well, actually, it's TMI, but I actually slept in the guest room last night because he's doing a sleep study. So my husband snores, guys. Yeah. Hopefully this saves us. So I was in the other room and I'm like, I best just email him since I can't just,
your head.
Look him up right now. All right. So why does this update matter for Threads? Threads is rewarding consistent voices, like we said, within these specific communities. So I think personally my number one goal for 2026 is to grow my podcast. So I'm about to get up over there and talk about marketing and podcasts and all that thing. Being recognized inside a niche community could drive faster trust and visibility, which we all need. So a couple tips for how you guys can use this. One, identify 1 to 2 communities per brand or like per business. Don't be in everything. You want to really nail this down. So like maybe you look for something like small business growth, local business marketing, or maybe that's for if you're like in marketing. Maybe you are med spa, you're looking in wellness, you're looking in, what else do they have? Well, I don't know the other one. I guess you kind of have to break this up by what you like, because what I'm seeing here is like wellness, parenting, real estate, and those are 3 very different niches.
Right.
So maybe it's saying to pick like your top 2 niches. So for me, that would be like social media marketing, but also like entrepreneurship. So like make sure they relate. Tip number 2, post consistently inside of those communities. Don't just post on your own post, but post inside the communities. Use flair intentionally. So that says if flair options show up, choose something that clearly signals expertise or perspective, not something vague. Still not sure what flair is. I will do more research and come back to you guys on that. Do you know what flair is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I know flair on Reddit is like, there's something to do. I always see people writing like, love your flair, but again, I don't know what that means. So
right.
We'll circle back. And then lastly, the tip is to be conversational, not CTA, buy my XYZ. You're there to just provide value and be an expert. What kind of businesses do you think would benefit most from this, Darby?
Probably more so, I don't know. I see a lot of like Wendy's and Scrub Daddy. Like I see a lot of like product-based brands do really well on there because they'll comment on like trending headline topics. But then I also feel like a coach or just personal brand is probably going to do really well.
Yeah. So really any service-based or product.
Yeah. You could do either.
You're good here. Okay, next update. Meta has rolled out a Reels algorithm control to all US users through a new feature called Your Algorithm. Have you seen this yet?
No.
I haven't either. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Users can now manually add or remove topics they want to see more or less of in their Reels feed, which I love. This feature lives directly inside the Reels feed and allows users to select topics they're interested in, remove topics they don't want to see, and then preview example videos tied to each topic. So Instagram will also allow users to share their algorithm interests to their stories just to show followers what they're into. I think that's kind of like nobody cares what I'm, right. No one cares. But I do like the idea of picking my topics because I'm a very moody girly. So like, depending on what part of my cycle I'm in, I'm very motivated, want to do all the things, business planning. But if it's like towards the end, I'm looking up depressive shit that I probably don't want to see again next month. So it would be nice to go in there and pick and choose what I'm seeing.
I also feel like that's more along the lines of TikTok and how their algorithm works. Like, I feel TikTok reads my mind before I'm even interested in something. I'm like, how did you know I wanted to watch like 30 videos on XYZ?
What I want to know, like, be real with us right now. You're pregnant. You're also a mom.
I mean, breastfeeding, like I didn't know how to sterilize my breastfeeding pump yesterday. And before I even Google or ask it, that's coming up on my TikTok. I'm like, how did it know I needed that like checked off my to-do list? So like TikTok is like insane algorithm where I feel like it's so coded, and like Meta's still kind of behind the curve on that. So maybe this will help. Because sometimes I feel like reels, like I'll get like for the trends, like we have to, in the club, we have to look up certain niches. So like one is like a roofing company. So I want to be able to provide them examples. Well, then for a month after that, all I'm seeing is roofing company. And I'm like, okay, I needed that one day.
No, this makes, yes. For TikTok though, can you see what your algorithm is like this? Like, is
no, I've never come across that, but I do feel like they do really well with like, it's political or something pops up on my feed. I'm like, I don't really want to see that. I'll say I'm disinterested, and they're really good about not showing me that again.
Okay. I do that too. I will say I'm not interested in something just to make sure I see it again. Okay. I like this. Why does this matter to you guys? Let's see. A couple reasons. Reels distribution is still AI led, but now you're able to literally declare what interest you want. So I like that. It's going to hopefully be more TikTok-ish. Content that clearly fits into recognizable topics has a higher chance of being categorized correctly. I like that too, because I know there are some clients out there that post something and they feel like it doesn't hit the right algorithms. And that's where they're like, no, you need to add like 5,000 hashtags for us. And we're like, actually, no, we don't. They're not even using hashtags anymore. So maybe this will help put their video in the right algorithms. Some tips for, you listeners out there. One, be extremely clear about your topic from frame one. Like your hook needs to be very specific. You're talking about one thing at a time. The video itself, the algorithm and the user both need to immediately understand what bucket your reel belongs in. And then two, you need to double down on the content pillars. So make sure, if you have any kind of social media strategy, the first thing we do at the agency is we give you content pillars. So we're not having to guess every single week what to post you. We want you to be known for specific things. So this is, a push for you to get very specific about that. And then avoid random reels. Like entertaining is fine. I'll throw in every couple, weeks, I'll throw in a funny video of mine, but like off topic all the time, it's just going to go into the masses and you're never going to grow an audience that way. All right. Next update is kind of boring, but I still have to say it just because a lot of creators listen to this podcast. Meta is expanding creator partnership ads to make it easier for brands and agencies to find and activate creator-led campaigns. This might be nice for me and you, Darby. We actually have like, a hair salon that's looking for someone to come in and do UGC videos. And we had a heck of a time trying to find someone. I finally found, a website that shares creators in that specific city. But this states that a more robust partnership ads hub is going to be inside of Ads Manager, showing both Facebook and Instagram creator content in one place. So like, I guess if we want to, we're refreshing ads in January, it might be nice to see creators that create content for that specific niche. Maybe we want to hire them instead of, kind of like that. New Facebook partnership ads API for agencies to discover and activate opportunities at scale. That's good for us. And then faster permissions through creator generated ad codes. So I will say behind the scenes for that, like I worked with Adobe last month and they needed some ad codes from me. And it was kind of a long process, not too long, but it's just like I had to do a couple things to get that over to them. So I like the idea of like a faster way to get that over to them. Why does this matter for you? Creator content is now easier to discover, vet, and boost. So I think this will be good for us, Darby. It also will allow you to make more data-backed decisions before activating a creator. So we'll get more insights on them. And then permissions won't be a bottleneck. Like we'll have it right there.
I think it'll just be easier because I hear you in like your conversations when you're doing partnerships, and it's kind of like a gray area too. Like it's something we personally don't touch on in the agency because it is hard to manage. So having it more internal will be nice and build that trust factor too, to where more people and brands will want to do that. Because right now it is kind of all third party tools.
It's all third party. And then when you work with third party, they're also taking a cut of that too.
Like, yeah, because I like know you have to send over your stats when someone wants to do a partnership. So now it's like, hey, it's already inside there, so they can see my stats, and I don't have to send it to them because it is like almost would prevent somebody from not wanting to do it because it is kind of like,
no, it's annoying. Sometimes I just like if I'm having a busy week, I skip it, which
it's
is
not worth it. Yeah,
dumb because I'm leaving money on the table, but I don't want to go screenshot my story analytics and all that crap.
right.
So, okay, those were our big updates of the week. But before we hop off here, are there any trends you're seeing on TikTok or Instagram that you're really loving that you want someone to utilize?
Yeah, I'm always a sucker for like funny ones. So I love funny trends. I'm trying to think. Right now we're in like holiday season. Gosh, there's been so many. I'm trying to think of ones I did this week on the club.
Yeah, give us an example one. Even if it's not this week, maybe it was last week.
Yeah, the Superman one was big. And that one's funny that everybody could use. The one this week though that I'm seeing like everybody use is the John Hamm. It's like I think they're using it on ChatGPT or like they'll use sequence on Reels, but it's the guy in the club with his eyes closed, like it'll do.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that
I think I did it in the club this week and I told them to sequence a reel.
Okay.
Go into edits, which I didn't know you could do because I'm like, okay, how can you get around copyright using this without having to use like not ChatGPT, CapCut. Because I don't love CapCut. Yeah. And then you can find it and I don't know, the audio is weird. So I was like, I love using edits so you can use it in sequence, take it into edits, record your part and just reorder. And then it's all native in the app too. So I feel like it will perform better.
Okay, this is game changer because self-proclaimed social media expert over here. I'm like, how are they doing this? And I was like, it's probably on CapCut, but I don't use CapCut, guys. I don't. So, okay, I'm going to go sequence. Yeah.
So now if you see like funny memes or something and you just want to use the meme part, you can sequence if they have their like the right settings on, you can just sequence it. Okay, which is nice to know.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Also, she brings up a really good topic of sequencing, which I think I might have to do an episode on. Sequencing is really fun. It's almost like remixing, but sequencing basically is you take someone else's reel, but you can you have to cut it almost, or you cut it at one part and then you do your part and then some of the other reel still is in the video.
Yeah.
I'll put a
TikTok's version of Stitch. Like when you stitch a video, it's just sequencing on Instagram.
It's a great way to explain it to them. Perfect. All right. Well, so you want to tell everyone where you're going after this?
To my OB appointment, my 39-week appointment.
Guys, we're just like, me and Gracie are just like, when will it be? Will it be today? What if today they're like, keep you? Do you have any signs?
No, I didn't last time, so I don't think they will. But like my bag is packed.
Though. That was a week ago.
No, so who knows? My bag is packed. Her car seat is in the car. And so we'll see.
I'm so excited. It's so exciting. This will be her first baby, so it's just a very special time. I'm so excited for you.
I know.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is the weekly scroll. If you are ready to get inside of Club Enfluence, where we will hand you those trends that we handpick every single week, you get an email from us every Monday. Click the show notes. I will put in your invitation link down there. And that is the weekly scroll this week. Darby, love you. Peace out, butterfly.
Thank you.